Everybody watching, I might be watching now, later. It's your boy DJ 2K Nitro. I'm back again. I want to do another live with y'all. Hopefully, get a good turnout again. Um, if not, you catch on the back end, whichever one works. I was in the mood to drop some advice to the fellas. This is not really, I wouldn't call it relationship advice. It'll just be um, some experience advice, a guide on what most guys, if you don't know, can expect to deal with when dealing with certain women from certain cultures and backgrounds and ethnicities and what have you. Um, just if you don't know, I've dibbled and dabbled with a wide range of women, whether it gotten sexual or not. There were number exchanged, and I could always tell you, what my experiences was, whether it was positive, negative, and maybe how you, if you were interested in these types of women, because as a man, most men in today's day and age, I think most men want to be open eh, for the most part. Well, at least ones that look like me, they're more open to other races, and I can explain why. But as for other races of men, I can't say 100%. Although I think statistics would say every man prefers their own women for the most part, and that's expected for various reasons. Well, I won't get into that, but we all kind of could put two and two together for why. But still, I wanted to speak on these things because I think it's helpful for other guys to learn from me, and also know like what to do, what not to do, and decide if this is something you want to you want to do. So I'm gonna end off with black women, and I'm gonna start with Asian. I'm gonna go into the whites and the Latins, and I'm gonna end off with the blacks. So I think that's the more juicier one to me. But sorry, somebody playing music outside. I'm surprised I'm hearing that music out where I'm at. But make sure before I get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, check out all my content, share this live. We could have some dialogue going with the fellas if there's fellas in this chat. We could have some discussions if you have any questions about anything I'm saying or any type of pushback. But anyway, regardless if there's nobody here or 100 people here, I'm gonna start. So let's talk about Asian women. My experience with Asian women, I haven't had a lot, to be honest, but I've had some. I've dealt with Asian women, but maybe more mixed. So they're not pure Asian, meaning like from China or something like that, for example. Straight from China. I might have maybe dealt with a woman that's Asian and black, Asian and I don't know, Latin. I don't know, but not a pure. But I've spoken to some like romantic women. This is all women we're talking about. So romantically, I would say Asian women are cool. Like they're not too too tough to deal with. They're more soft. They're like a soft rough, if that makes any sense. So as you come in, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. I'm talking about Asian women. Going to talk about dealing with Latin women, white women, and then we gotta get into the black women last. So I'm on the Asian women first. So the Asian women, they're soft tough to deal with, meaning uh, they at least have some ownership of their femininity for the most part, from my experiences. Again, I'm saying it's not a lot, but I've had some experiences with Asian women, and they'll be more forward with their advances if they like you. You know, they'll kind of put it out there for you to kind of like take the bait and whatnot if you're interested in them. It's gonna be if they're interested in you, but if they're not really feeling your vibe, they'll tell you too. They're like, you know, but they have a softness, sweetness side to them, but they could also be kind of rough if you trigger them or do something, and then it could reflect other women, which we'll get to. But Asian women, I will also say the box is is pretty good. I would say that part is no complaints there from my experiences. The cleanliness is good too, from my experiences. I never really had an Asian experience with that where I said like, oh man, the hygiene, blah. But I haven't had a lot though, so I can't. Maybe if I was like in there a lot, maybe would my experience would be different. But cleanliness is good. I love their size. I love their frames. So for a guy that's not like too tall, they're like they're not too hard to deal with in terms of like if you need to like, you know, be on them or they need to be on you. Make sure you come in, like, comment, subscribe. We on Asian women first. I'm talking about experiences with different women in today's world, dating, mating, all that stuff. Anyway, so Asian women are definitely okay to deal with if you can find one that's single, because a lot of times too they don't stay on the market long. Meaning when they by the time they get 20 something, they off the market on most cases. So if you could find one that's nice, pretty, petite, go for it if you can. I know a lot of dudes now traveling abroad to find even like Filipino women and Thailand women and stuff like that. Like that's not really what I'm talking about 100%. I haven't dealt with a Filipino or a Thailand to my knowledge, unless they could have been and they didn't tell me that. But they're more like Asian look. So I've dealt with like Asian looking kind of women. So those women are more sweet to deal with. They're not like completely like dormant, submissive, and all that stuff. The American ones, but maybe the more foreign ones. If I ever go there, then maybe I could tell you my experience. But I'm sure they're much different than, let's say, American women, American Asian women that were brought up and raised here. But I know now a lot of Asian people love hip hop music, so I'm pretty sure for black guys, Asian women are becoming more of, well, Asian women are more interested in black guys, from what I could also gather from that, because that makes us more intriguing. And if you're from the Caribbean islands, a lot of Asians are in like Jamaica, Trinidad, and stuff like that. So I know that they mingle with the population out there too. So, and Asian people, like I said again, love hip hop music. So that if you go to Japan and all, they would embrace you if you look like me. You know what I'm saying? So something to keep in mind going forward. But let's keep it going. Let's go now to the Latin women. We're gonna go talk about the four women: Latin, Asian, Latin, Asian, Latin, Black, and white. We go to white next. So the Latin women, my experiences has been positive overall. Overall, of course, you're gonna have some that are what the stereotype crazy Latin. You gotta get that sometimes. I think you get that more so from Latin women who um, have a lot of trauma. You know, they come from a trauma background, whether you know somebody in their family was abusive and stuff like that, then they might be more problematic and that crazy. Like, although hey, some of them are just crazy, crazy. That's just how they are, women sometimes. But some of the stereotypes have some truth to them, like the fertility with Latin women. Yeah, a lot of them tend to do that. You know, no offense. I'm not trying to be like, you know, a lot of times they have a lot of kids, or they're prone to have more kids, and they like that. They're more into doing that than I think any race of women that I've come across. Meaning, Um, they they like they like to, get down. They're not saying I'm saying they're super freaks, but they're not oppressed to go. I will also say, I'm gonna be real. They don't really like to wrap it up for whatever reason. I think it's a cultural thing. They're not into really wrapping it up too heavy. If, of course you got to, but they're not. That's not really like their mental like that. A lot of times, I was told it's a cultural thing with that, with the condom stuff with them. So they don't particularly like to do that. Although, hey, everybody's different. Everything I say is not absolute, so don't take it like, oh, this is excuse me, this is everything with every woman. Of course, there's exception to every rule, but I'm trying to give you the keys. If you want to deal with a Latin woman, I would say make sure well, most times this is the case, but make sure she has a good family structure and the family is open to, if you look like me, open to dating a black man or open to dating a white man. I think, of course, white guys have it a lot easier with dating any woman because I know for most women are open to dating white men due to their resources that they tend to have, that or at least women perceive them to have. So most women want to be taken care of and blah blah blah, and so they're going to be naturally more prone to date a white man who has those means. And then number two is us, because I guess our dominance, our masculine features, our masculine presence, what we're known to have between our legs, it makes us attractive to other women second. So, but still, yes, Latin women. I have some Latin people in my family, and I have some friends that only deal with Latin women that look like me, and they tell me stuff, and I've experienced stuff. And when it comes to submission, um, openness in the bedroom, they're up there. I won't say they're number one, but they're tied maybe with number one, meaning that they're not opposed to saying no to things. They like to explore their body. They're very pleasant also to be around, like the Asian women. Asian women a little bit more stern at times. They can be, but Latin women are just, they imprint on you and they really like you and love you hard when they really like you. Like it's crazy. Like it'll go from like 0 to 60 real quick. Like you will, if they like you fast, and it's like boom, like they really into you fast. So be mindful of that. I'm not here to tell you to manipulate nobody or use nobody, but that can happen where they just let their guard down and they're like in love with you, and then it's like they're obsessed. So be careful of that too, and dealing with a Latin one. But they got you. They got you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna rock with you when they got you. When they really imprint on you hard, they're gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that. Anybody that deal with, Latin women. I haven't really got that with the Asian women yet. That imprint and that love hard stuff from them. But I do know that they tend to be more loyal as well too. So um, sexually, yes, you'll get a lot of your needs met there, guys. But Latin women, they're not gonna be again opposed to a lot of things. They're gonna be open to do the things that you want to do sexually. They like to cook. A lot of times, like this, it's a cultural thing. They would feel offensive if they don't feed you, or you're not fed and you're not taken care of in a certain. They're more into pleasing their men. And this is even Americanized, or Latin women born in America for the most part, but they have a lot of roots back in their country, so they bring that culture to the regardless of where they at. So, and it's good, especially nowadays, like given like how feminism has swept the society in America, where it's, excuse me, looked down on now almost to do certain things to a man. They still have those traditional cultures and kind of respect for a man and stuff like that. So those are good things, and they keep themselves pretty built nicely for the most part. I mean, as they get older, that's another story. But I'm not gonna hit, not here to tear down nobody. But you use your own judgment as you see a. But there are some Latin women that hold up very well as they age, and they still can get it. And some Latin women are, whew, they be 40, 50, still looking shapely and voluptuous, and whew, And but they love their femininity. A lot of them, they're not against it. They're not too deep in this whole misandrous uh, radical feminism stuff. They're not too deep in it. Of course, you're gonna have some outliers and stuff, but in my experiences tend to be those that are around more. Unfortunately, say black people. They take on to those mantras, but it's not deep. It's not deep rooted in them like that. They have more respect for family and culture and stuff like that. I'm not saying black people don't just betterly. It's more instilled in them traditionally, and they really big on their culture. So, but if you want to talk about dating a maiden, yeah, they cool, man. If you get you a nice Latin chick that she rock with you, man. Ain't gonna be much issues unless you like as a man do something to her to piss her off, whatever that could be, and then you might have hell to pay with her. Man, she gonna be on you, and like I said, the box is good too. The very, I would say, some of the best sex has come from a Latin chick in my life. Oh man, I can tell you one was just so Dominican girl, so thick and voluptuous and sexy and just but she loved men. Very like she had a love for men and it showed in certain moments a lot. And she liked black men in particular. She saw herself as a black woman, which I agree. Especially Dominican people and Brazilian women, people they're more closer to black African their African roots in my opinion. But we're not here to talk about that. But anyway, yeah, some of the best encounters is with a Latin woman from my sexual experience. So, but you just be careful. They can be crazy. So sometimes, so just be careful. It just depends on. We could get into deeper stuff with that another video. But let's move on to my experiences with white women. And when I talk about experiences, just know I'm an older guy. I've dated and made it for a long time. If I haven't done something, my homeboys have done it. So if I haven't lived it firsthand, my homeboys have done it, and they told me their experience. So I'm either firsthand or secondhand experience on stuff. So you're getting top notch game. So I would suggest you pay attention. And if you have questions, you ask, because I could definitely answer them pretty well when it comes to certain things and what to say, what not to say, what to do. I'll open the floor for any questions. I see some people here. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I'll try to answer when I'm done. If not, we'll leave it like that. But anyway, moving on to the white women now. I will say too, in my life, white women are at least when I was growing up, they were very, I won't call them easy. They were more just prone to give you a chance, if that makes sense. They were more hear you out, give you a chance, and then go from there. Versus the other races of women they're a little bit more difficult to get them to listen and pay attention and open to give you a try to see what you can do for them, where you can go, and blah blah blah. But white women, when they like you too, they like you too, and they will go down on you, and they're very aggressive too in terms of if they want you, they will pursue you, they will show their interest. This is probably, again, given my experiences with with a lot of women, I could kind of understand why the black athlete tends to be with the white woman, because of all the the races of women, I think the white women go harder, the hardest in terms of, this is me talking, not just my opinion. This is from me. They will go the hardest in pursuing you, meaning they will put out the effort. They will call, text, respond to texts what make any arrangements to link up, whatever. They will go above and beyond more so than other races of women that I've experienced will go. Latin women, not to say they don't go above and beyond, but they do things in other places. Like white women might not cook for you and clean and then f you like a Latin woman might do that, but the white woman might just just be her communication game is A plus. She'll respond. She'll be attentive to your needs and wants and your desires. And that sometimes that's all it takes. She might not want to be cook Chef Boyardee because you might not like what she makes, especially if you look like me. You might not like what she makes, but if you're maybe her, a white guy and like knows what she makes and into that, then that's one thing. But no, they're not perfect. No woman is perfect. So when I say this, no woman is perfect, especially nowadays with everything going on. No woman's perfect, fellas. So don't think, oh yeah, well great. I'm not here to say women are perfect at all. I'm just telling you from my experiences what to be expecting if you deal with any of these, any of these women, what to expect from what I could tell you. But yeah, white women, for the most part, overall, from my experience, when they like you and what I've seen, there was even a time that there's something I don't see any women do this, but I'm out with my guys, and it's just guys, and white girl would just come and just sit down and talk. Hey, how's it going, everybody? How you guys doing? And just like start having a whole full blown conversation. Like, what? Who does that? Only a white woman ever did that in my life. No black girl has ever seen me with a bunch of guys and just felt comfortable enough to just start a conversation, and they all look like me. Sat down, started a conversation, and made friends, and we just like cool, and she laid back and she talking. Not saying she even about nothing, like trying to holler. She just cool like that, like just cool, like yo, let's talk, let's da 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 da, and having a whole conversation, and there's no like weird stuff going on because I'm a cool dude. Most of my guys, all my guys is cool people. We're not here to like do no weird stuff out the blue. Yeah, we gotta try you a little bit if you cute. Like, oh yeah, what's up? And if she's, oh no, I got a man. Okay, we fall back. We're not gonna keep pressing the situation and set you up like that. So that's me and my peoples. But for her to even have this is a truth to have the confidence and just respect to just come and do that is like, whoa, we will never get that from no other woman, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get to the next ones. But still, not to say they perfect at all. Uh, but I know white women are more open. They're more friendlier. Let's just leave it like that. They're more friendlier of all the women. Latin women, if they don't like black men, they ain't effing with you. They like their own kind a lot. So if they really like hard pressed on their own kind, they ain't effing with you. Especially a dark skinned black man, oh, they ain't effing with you. They'll just like they won't even like acknowledge your presence. And they'll be like looking at you crazy just to warn you. And like, no, 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 they have those out there, Latin women. I didn't say that, but they have those type of Latin women out there. But when a Latin woman's into you and into it's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good as a man, even in today's world. It's, in the Western world, it's still pretty decent. Asian women, they're more. You gotta approach them and open them up for them to feel comfortable talking to you. But once you get them open up, they'll be more engaging and talking and blah 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 blah. Stuff like that. And they Asian women love to text. White women love to text. Latin women love to be on the phone. Uh, the communication is just varies. Some will do the texting, some the calling from the three that I mentioned. White women love to text. Love to text on the phone. They'll text you to death, boy. They'll text you all day, but they will respond. I haven't had a situation where I haven't dealt with a whole bunch of white women, but my friends do more than me, and I have sometimes. But me with white women, I'm not against them. I just don't always see one that I'm really attracted to really like pursue like that. Unless they coming at me and they looking kind of good, I'm gonna be a man. If they make their presence felt and they looking good, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to length. But if I see a white girl, I'm not really like pursuing that on my natural day to day. But But like I said, they a lot of times they be cool too. They be with it drinking and from what I don't do drugs, but with the drugs and all, they be down with all that type of stuff. So if you a party person, white women are cool. They're the most party friendly of the bunch for the most part. So, but again, they're not perfect. If they don't like you, they don't like their own kind. They ain't got F with you. Can I say that they're loyal? I don't know because I've dealt with some white girls, and my friends have dealt with white girls that have boyfriends, and they'll cheat. So be aware of that they will cheat. So you know what I'm saying. I think all girls will cheat, but that's another story. But they can cheat. But moving on, and to the last one of the four, you'll get to the black woman. My black woman, my black woman, my black woman. Shout out to the 10 people here. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe and make sure if you have a question, you dump it in there. Make sure you're sharing. If you're looking to, because this is juicy. I think this is juicy intel you're gonna get and that I have spoken about in this whole entire live. So hopefully when it's done, you can watch it back. And if you have any objections or questions, you can ask it in the comment section when I'm done. But now let's get to the black woman. Of course, looking at me, you already know I'm black. Black as spade. I'm from the Caribbean islands, mostly, but I grew up in America. So you know, this is my people's naturally, but I have to be honest. I'm an honest, straight shooter dude. I don't lie. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I keep it 100. This is why I have issues sometimes with dudes. I have issues sometimes with women because, especially women at times, and mostly, of course, black women. Because black women of all, they don't like to be told the truth, and they'll say, "Oh, we want the truth. We don't want to be lied to." That's a lie, bull crap. And I not saying I'm a liar and I lie to them, but I see dudes lie to them constantly and they deal with them. So goes to show you. Anyway, I'm trying to be as polite and as possible, and although it's not too hard. I will say black women and Latin women have the best bodies, period. Hands down. You're not gonna find better if you like voluptuous women. If you like slim women, white and Asian could have those slim bodies down pat. But if you want voluptuous, curvy women, big titties, big booty, black and Latin got that covered without a BBL, easy. But the difference between a Latin woman and a black woman is up here. Latin women have culture. American culture, remember, I grew up in Caribbeans. Caribbean women kind of better, but it's not as good as Latin culture, in my opinion, in regards to treating their men. But anyway, American black women have not that great a culture, if at all. And of all the races of women I just brought up, the four, they embrace radical feminism the worst, and they don't understand it. It corrupts their mentality towards men, to view men in a negative light and or view men as ATM. And I'm sorry to say this about black women, but that's just they constantly go on social media and do it to themselves. So I'm not even doing nothing that's not that they don't do to themselves. Meaning they put out this viewpoint of themselves. I don't do it. They do it constantly. You got the sprinkle lady. You got Kendra G. You got if you think about the biggest male haters there is, 9 times out of 10 is gonna be a black woman. I'm sorry to say, and that's sad. It's afternoon here, but good morning. It's sad for me to say that, because like I said, I feel black women some of the most beautiful women on earth, but it's just up here is where they lack a lot, and they have a lot of intelligence, but they don't put it towards family. They don't put it towards trying to fix the issues between men and women in their community. They put it towards their own personal gain, whether it's degrees and work related and living a life without a man versus when they do entertain men and at all. So I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down because it's the last one. I'm gonna break it down. I appreciate the support. If you got questions, any pushback, feel free to ask because I'm gonna try to be as open as possible. I save the best kind of for last. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you liking what I'm saying or you don't like whatever. Black women, I don't know where it comes from 100% because I'm not in their shoes, but I can only guess sometimes with why they do certain things that they do. I do say again, radical feminists that's corrupted their mind. From overall of all the races of people in America, we get more of the bottom. Let me see. We get manipulated the worst through the government to try to keep us apart. And being as smart as a lot of black women claim they are and attest to become, they don't really see that. They let that stuff bypass them for whatever reason, and they inherit the BS and they spew it out that because of all the women that I just talked about, I don't see them go and say and do the things. I mean, I see sometimes white women do certain things on social media, but to the degree and length that black women go with the BS, it's like on another level. And I think of all the races of women, they're number one in social media usage. Black women, and instead of using it in any type of, well, some do, but for the most part, they don't use it for a positive to uplift the community as a whole. When they don't use it for that, they put out negative stereotypes, negative views about how black women conduct themselves and think and move. And maybe that's how they are. I don't know. I don't want to speak for all black women, but I will say they have given a lot of issues at times. But I know it's some of that again is back to the trauma thing. A lot of black people come from harsher backgrounds for the most part, not all, for the most part. I know when if you find a black woman from the countryside, she's probably gonna be more domesticated or more traditional. She gonna want to be married and all that good stuff. Great, good. You can find you one if you really want to date or deal with a black woman. I would advise find one from the country, not from any big cities. New York, no. Jersey, no. Parts of Detroit, no. They gotta be somewhere from the countryside. Even Florida, some parts, but other parts of Florida, heck no. If you want anything serious, no, no, no. I would not suggest it. But also, I can suggest it if you want to elevate your game because what's good, they will prepare you for other races of women. So if you want to but I will also say, this black men will have this problem with black women. Not all the time, but more black men will have issues with black women than, let's say, a white guy. Let's say a white guy, for example, with a black woman. You're gonna get sides of them that I won't get that are positive for you because for some reason, again, they're programmed to think that a white man is better. And I want that because he's gonna offer me things that a black man can't offer me. And I'm gonna now behave, quote unquote, behave to so I don't get let go or whatever. That's 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 how a lot of them are going to think. Not saying all. There are some, yeah, they want a black man, but they're not. If you want a black man that's really like doing something, not like any. Says that's another issue too. Sometimes you'll have black women that will just fixate on looks, on like the most like least important things that a man should bring to the table. Not his character, be his height, how stylish he is, like just simple shit. And it's like these be the dudes that will infiltrate them, impregnate them, and then they go out and on social media and say, oh, all men, all particular black men ain't this and that, and it's really a core set of dudes that they like that fit the bill, whether they're tall or swaggy, whatever it is. These dudes will constantly infiltrate, not all, but some black women, and then those be the ones that complain, and then leave them to be single baby mothers, and it's just a never-ending cycle. And then most of the time, then when a guy like me come around, not to say they want, then sometimes they will expect a guy like me to want to take them off the market. But that's where guys like me have to be smart and understand what's going on. Like, but this is not an all time. Sometimes they have some decent fathers, and all these races of women have a single mother issue. So it's not just black women that have that, but it tends to be if you deal with black women at a certain age. Maybe if you catch them again young, if you really want to deal with a black woman, you got to catch them in the country and young. That would be my advice. Find them in the country, find them young. Once they get to a certain age, it's gonna be difficult for a long term connection for various reasons. I won't even get into it because if I get into whys and this and that, is I'm gonna be called a lot of things that I don't want to be called. But I'm just trying to be real with y'all. Not to say no women is perfect. White women sleep around. Latin women definitely sleep around. You know, like I've said before, I've messed with a lot of girls in relationships or even married, and they wasn't always black. So the women sleep around. If you have certain characteristics and traits, you could break down their barriers a lot of times in a weaker woman. You know, most of the times. I mean, I could tell you those things in another video if y'all want to hear how to break down all that stuff. But a lot of times, so I'll just say this: a lot of times it's timing. A lot of stuff is timing. So if I'm not gonna get too deep, but if you catch women at the right time, right place, a lot of things can happen for you. That's why I'm gonna get back to the black one. I'm close it up. That's why if you are into certain things or go certain places, you could catch a woman and and do things with her that you probably wouldn't do if you caught her or if you even met her at another time and place. So really at times it's really about timing. And today's woman is about timing. Timing is everything now. Oh, calling, texting is timing. I don't know if you hear that anymore. It's timing. To really deal with women and catch them is timing. The right time, right place, and it really helps. But to close out, black women sexually too hit or miss, meaning some will do things that you want to be done, that you want done to you, but some will not. It goes by how attractive they feel about themselves and how attractive they feel about you. So if they view you as a high level guy, they're more open to doing all your sexual desires. If they view you as equal to them or below them, they're not going to do it. They're going to want you to do all the things to them that they want. They're going to want you to please them. You know, so be mindful of that when dealing with a lot of black women that I've dealt. That's mostly what I've dealt with over my years. But again, I'm flexible, and I'm sorry to say too, communication is poor with black women these days. It's very poor. They will take hours to respond, if not days. They go off in different tangents. You can't get them on the phone. You can't text them. You can't. I don't know what the heck is going on with a lot of black women these days. It's like it's very hard to get any type of and then they will. And then this is the irony. Then they will go on social media and say, "Oh, I like a man that's consistent and communicates," but then you don't communicate at all. They will ignore you. What? Not to say the other racist women don't do it. I'm pretty sure they do it just as bad, if not worse, or probably not as bad as black women. Meaning, fellas, take it how you want to take it when they do that. You could move on and deal with somebody else, or you could come back to it, or at a later date, or whatever. It's up to you. But I'm just being honest. Black women communication is trash. Trash. They will not. They don't know how to. A lot of black women don't know how to communicate healthy. If it's something toxic or bad kind of energy, they will all day. But if it's positive stuff, or you trying to set something up, a date, it's very difficult for whatever reason. And I'm sure the same things that they do, the other race of women do, but yet they can respond, but they can't. So this is not to just tear down black women, but I will say, closing out, it's because they embrace the radical feminism train too much. They have a lot of bad programming. The sprinkle chick and all these other male hating misandrous chicks that want to just program black women into just using men for ATMs doesn't help. They don't have a lot of good role models to reflect. They don't have, and it's sad. And I really, and in my opinion is it comes from because the government has eliminated all of those type of people, and they have put a lot of black people in a lot of poor circumstances that we're still trying to come out of. But in the process, we still have a lot of women that don't trust men or have a negative viewpoints of men. It's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of trauma. It's trauma based. But again, black women again claim to be so educated, so smart. They have to wake up and understand what's going on. Some are and some aren't, because I'm on this YouTube thing heavy, and a lot of women that are speaking out against the BS. A lot of people, hi Spencer, a lot of people speaking out against the BS a lot of times can be black women, which I appreciate. And that should be commended, but it's not enough, because you might have three of them, but you got 300 radical feminist, male hating kind of black women. So it's not enough. And then unfortunately too, fellas, a lot of simps, panders in the black community. So it doesn't help that that's also coming from two sides of feeding their egos. So there's a lot of narcissism with our black women these days. Not all, but a lot of them. And I don't think that and even other races of men are gonna put up with that. And they would shut that stuff down in an instant. But just be mindful, not. But when it comes to box, yes, black women have good box. Sometimes the hygiene can be hit or miss. Now I'm just keeping it 100. Could be hit or miss if if it's a brand new woman. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that too. Let me read one of these comments too. I'm gonna get back to serve 2 years. Trying 50K minimum fund. Went homeless and the system did not care. Yeah, the world is effed up, man. The world is effed up, especially nowadays, man. I don't even know what to say 100%, because I think I've had this discussion with one of my other homeboys. We have discussions, about stuff like this and whatever. But it depends on what you value. If you want a more traditional woman, Latin all day. If you want, I'm trying to see, black women, I would say are good. See, I don't. Black women are beautiful. So if you want to like a arm candy, black women. But then Latin women could be that too. So it's hard to say. I give it to Latin right now. But if we go back to the '70s, black women, But we can't do that. We have to do what we got today. So it's gotta be Latin women. Latin women running circles around black women. I'm sorry to say, right now. You know what I'm saying? Black women have to get more into their femininity, but they reject it. They see it as a weakness. They're not into it like they need to be, from on a large scale, not an all scale, a larger scale. So because they have a lot of black women have a hive mentality, one band, one sound mentality. They all stick together. So if if the queen bee's doing it, all the bees got to do it. So it takes that queen bee to change her mentality, and then all the rest of them change their mentality. But a lot of the queen bees are not doing that. So it's like a lot of particular black women are gonna just fall with the masses, and the masses is, or not the masses, but what the queen bee saying. So if the queen bee saying f dudes and use them and blah blah blah, that's what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And if you see it in the music, you see it in the culture, that's what it is. Versus you don't really get a lot of positive messages from black women. But I will say, to say something positive, you really also too, if you really want to deal with black women, then you like, that's your only choice, or that's your closest outlet. If you really want to deal with black women like in a sexual manner, here's a little tip. I haven't really seen nobody touch on it, but it's a little tip. I mean, all these dating gurus. If you care about that, if you don't really want it, don't pay attention to what I'm about to say. But you gotta probably get in that lifestyle stuff. Find a lifestyle community, because a lot of black women are into that now. I don't know if it's better than said. A lot of black women into lifestyle, and I don't know if there's any people that understand what I'm saying. But the LS stuff is big with a lot of black women, and they I don't know, it's wild. But that community is hit or miss from a attractive standpoint. So you might have some big girls in there, and if you don't care, hey, do you. But that's probably the best route these days, unless you're like, again, you have a lot of means. So if you have height, money, status, a lot of black girls are going to be attracted to that. So you might just get them more for that alone versus anything else. The other race of women be more prone to deal with you and work with you if you have good character. More likely, of course, if any woman, you got to have something. You can't just have nothing. Can't come to the table, with nothing. But black women want to meet you at the finish line more so than any other woman, and that's again why a lot of time, that's why they're the least to marry. I'm not trying to put them down, but it's hard for me to say anything that's not true. I just keep it 100. Now they have a lot of capabilities, but they just don't apply them towards men. They usually towards themselves, benefits themselves. It's not to benefit a man anymore. They, we have to be real with each other. The things that they want to get better at or they continue to do is not beneficial to a man's desire. So, and then they want to complain like, but that's just what it is. If you work on certain things, I think men will be more intrigued because, like I said, Latin women and black women have the best bodies, in my opinion, of any race of women. Sex is one thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping 100 body types, you know what I'm saying? But that's again why I know from my experiences dating and mating why I can understand why a lot of the NFL and athletes end up with white women, because white women do the more, or women that go to be above and beyond that most black women aren't willing to do. Black women though will pursue you if you have certain things: status, money, height. I would even say those three things alone: status, money, height. A black woman will pursue you. If you don't have that, all bets is off. But I'm pretty sure even they have a limit of what they're willing to pursue, because if they were willing to even pursue those three things with, and they go into colleges and stuff like that, and all these athletes are there, why they still not getting picked? Because again, the white women that they end up with did more or was willing to do more. I mentioned the sex part. There's still things black women will just, I'm not doing that. Bet you ask the white woman to do it, she'll do it. She want to have a freak off with her and a friend in college, oh, she'll do it. The white woman. Black girl, oh no, I ain't doing that. Not to say she should do it. I'm just saying. Just an example. Or suck it here, do this. It's night and day. So you gotta be real as to why you have a beautiful woman, beautiful creature, which is a black woman, and they're not being pursued. But there is a but. They might be more open to doing these things if you're white after a certain age. So if they're like 26 to 40 and you're a white male and you got a black chick that you're interested in, and she's gonna be willing to give you a chance and meet all of your requirements more so than she would me if she met me, and she found me and the white man the same attractive level. She would be more open to doing the things to to make it work with the white guy than versus me. You know what I'm saying? and I can offer the same things he can offer, but just because whatever reason they program to think that white is right, they need to, divest and hey, whatever, do you? If that's what you want to do, do you? Again, I have white people in my family, so I'm not here to say don't date white people or whatever. I don't give a damn who you date, who you love, but you should go where you're loved. That's for any man. So you a white guy, you get black chicks, great. Go do you a black guy, get Asian chicks, hey, do you? I'm not here saying no Dr. Umar stuff. Stick it to your own people. Hey, these days, as tough as it is, like I said it earlier, communication is poor. That's probably even another reason why these athletes choose white women. Just off that alone, black women will not prioritize men. They will prioritize their own desires over men. So they will again, like I said, they'll take days to respond, hours to respond, and then if you're not responding, that dude is like, oh, Becky ready to go, so I'm gonna roll with Becky. Versus she maybe want to do, focus on her studies and focus on this and focus on that, whatever, her TV show, whatever. Or she get bad programming. Oh, make him wait, girl. Don't chase him, act desperate. Okay, well he going to the next chick. She acting desperate, but she ready to go, so she gonna go with that one. He ain't gonna wait around for you, regardless how cute you think you are and all that stuff, or you deserve it. These dudes ain't waiting that are like really high value dudes. They ain't got time for that. They want women that's ready. They ain't trying to deal with no, chick that ain't, prioritizing them. A lot of times they ain't got time to waste either. They working on going to the NFL or going to the NBA, and they got 16-hour practices in a day. So whenever they have a chance to do something, they ready to do it. They ain't got time to wait on you to respond back. They got to take the first woman to respond that they're interested in. So so I get it, but overall, yeah, it's been ups and downs with black women for me. Sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad. But the good has been good, and the bad has been really bad. They're very traumatic. So it just depends. And like I said, you got to take into account. Black women stick together. I'll give them credit in that in some regards. It's a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. They will stick together. They will gang up on you. They will, and that could work against you because they could, it could be a good thing if you know how to use it. Like they'll support you if they really like you. They'll all support you, great. But if they don't like you, they'll come against you, try to tear you down, and it's just you gotta know what you're dealing with when you deal with some black women. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I said, one band, one sound. Just be very careful until overall black women as a whole are more open to getting a better relationship with their men. It's going to be like that. So if you're not a black man, I would just advise you on that when you're dealing with a black one. Not to say you shouldn't or don't, but I'm just advising you. And this is just my experiences, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, people say things, sometimes it be true. It be true and sometimes it don't, you know what I'm saying? It just, unfortunately, the good black women don't always be seen and heard. And there are good black women out there for sure. I will never say there's not. I only talk to decent women, period, and some of them are black. So there are some good black women, but it's just a lot of the worst ones have the biggest mouths in our community. So that's a problem that I don't even know how to fix that because it's like, it's an issue. But I will say white women have some issue with the mouth and the feminism, but they still end up with husbands. They could be a feminist but still have a husband and stuff like that. Black women be a feminist, nobody effing with them. So they have to take that into account if they really care or value being with a man. But like I said, if you really want to deal with black women these days, go the LS route. Go and find an LS group in your big city, and I guarantee you could be black women there. And you could have your full, and you that's the best route to go these days. You want to deal with black women, like actually have like. Unless you go in the country black women cool. They cook, clean, all that old school stuff. That's good. The city girls, if you live in a big city, find a LS lifestyle community and branch up with them you're good to go with today's black women. Anything else, I would not kind of advise it. You're taking risks. You could deal with them. You might get lucky. Hey, you might have her head on right. Make sure she has uh, a good viewpoint on men. She, not trying to look at men like a dollar sign and just to use and provide, and she does nothing but just show up. Like, you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure this. I've seen white women be that way, but it's not as much as black women be that way. So, and this is not to tear them down. I'm just keeping it 100. Just keeping it 100. That's all I'm saying. Keeping it 100. But I'll open the floor for some questions. If not, in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna end the live. So if anybody have any other questions you want to ask, any concerns, any pushback, make sure if you haven't, you like, comment, subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to go live more often, giving more insights on just a general range of things, from relationships to music to the culture of hip hop. I'm in the hip hop community, so I give some insight on the hip hop community stuff going on. Last time I went live, I talked about Puff Daddy situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the heck that dude. He's gonna, like I said, he's gonna go down one of the dumbest dudes ever if he blows all this money he accumulated and success he had. I mean, it's already kind of tarnished anyway, but he still kind of has the money right now as we speak. So unless when he gets arrested, they freeze his accounts. But we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about what you can expect dealing with Asian women, Latin women, white women, black women. What you can expect if you don't already know. So I already kind of talked about my experiences dealing with them, and what I didn't touch on that I know is Filipino. A couple of my friends did marry some Filipino women, and they have good things to say about Asian women. So that's if you're into exploring the world, that's a good place to go to maybe find like a nice woman in the Philippines. So I haven't been out there, but I have a friend younger than me. He got a wife out there, and I see things that reflects that you get good outcomes with them if you're more of a traditional guy and you want a traditional woman. So try that out if you have a passport, if you could travel when it comes to Filipino women. Vietnamese, all them they have some good traditional kind of women that still value a man's presence, respect the man, see the man as the head of the household, all that stuff. I didn't touch on that. I would say that Latin women. One of my homeboys go out to Colombia all the time. One of the other homeboys just came back from Colombia. Actually, he was having a blast. Just put two and two together. He was having a blast. And my other homeboy loved Dominican Republic. I've never been. He's gone so many times. Again, had a ball. I think they kind of over Dominican Republic from all the time that they having. So, but white women, I would say Germany. If you're going, I'm going international. You go, Germany have some good. They love American men out there. So if you again passport, go out there. American white women are cool if you catch them young. Not saying too young, no predatorial stuff, but just catch them young with when they're in that kind of party mode and stuff like that. They're fun to be around. They'll drink, they'll party, all that good stuff. Not a care in the world, and they'll kiss you, they'll hump you, all that stuff. So that's the best time to catch. From my experiences, white women is that. Black women are okay when you catch them on a trip. You got that's trips and lifestyle groups. You catch them on a trip, like whatever trip, they'll be more prone to go there with you. Give it up and be more open to being in a feminine side. But if you catch them in their home state, then it's going to be a lot harder. So I would advise that if you want to deal with black women, go the lifestyle route, catch them on a trip, catch them on a cruise, catch them on a resort somewhere, catch them on some type of party trip. Then black women will be more. I'm talking to the guys on, talking to the fellas on. That's when they'll be more open to being less problematic. They won't they leave all that trauma crap at home and they just fixated on having a good time and partying. That's the best time to catch them. Unless you go in the country, some country's place, and then you could catch a nice sister that got her head on. And probably too, also I didn't mention this. It may be in these like a Muslim brought up in a Muslim culture where they have a respect factor, they have a culture, they have a religious ground, a grounded religious footing where they have to respect the man. Like that's ingrained in them from young. Then yeah, but like if you talking like Americanized women, black women with no type of culture, no father raised in the city, you deal with them at your own risk. You deal with them accordingly, and if they tell you, you don't say I didn't warn you. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't say I didn't warn you. But I'm here. I'm here. I see you. If anybody have any questions, there's only 6 people in here to be fluctuating. So I don't know what you mean by I'm him. I don't know about that. I don't know what you mean by that, Crump. But if anybody have any questions, I'm gonna leave it open for questionings, concerns. This is 2K Nitro. Uh, I'm just here trying to give some game to y'all, to the fellas, to the world. So if anybody got any questions, concerns, if not, I'm about to end it in a little bit. Shout out to everybody that commented and popped in. I'm trying to do this more often. I'll probably come back maybe Sunday with a new topic, and then we could discuss. This is one topic I wanted to get off my chest and talk about. So hopefully the fellas don't be scared to date. I still think you should pursue, if you see a girl on the street, you should walk up to them. I think you gotta be different. So if you're doing something, everybody doing the dating apps, so do something different. Talk to a girl on the street. Talk to, if you see them in person, try and holler. You know what I'm saying? But just be mindful of the setting, the situation, it's the timing. Remember, I said that earlier. Timing is everything with women. You catch them at the right time, that goes a long way. She might not feel you right now, but you might cut at the wrong time. She might give you a chance, and boom, 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 you in there. Versus if you catch at a bad time, and she might still like you, she still might not give you. Because women have a natural, just like, they don't care. If you haven't noticed, like, they just don't care. It's just natural to them these days. I don't know what it is. It's just a natural thing. Like you could be, unless you're like a athlete or celebrity, but you could be a really nice guy and they could see that you are, but you caught them at a bad time. They will just not care and cut you off at that point. So, and you could look sloppy and effed up, but if you caught them at the right time, for whatever reason, maybe they vulnerable at that moment, you could slither your way up in them drawers if you got good game. So and you might not even be that tight at all. You might be 5'1", broke, dusty, but you caught at the right time. She ready to drop them drawers if you could set it up correctly. Not on that spot, but of course over time. You know what I'm saying? So it's timing is everything. But I don't see no questions. I see the views go up and down, but I'm looking for some questions. In about a minute, I'm gonna end it unless somebody has something to add to this conversation or say. I'm about to end it, but I really appreciate you guys that stopped by and listen. Make sure you watch us on the playback. Your boy DJ 2K Nitro. I'm gonna leave it up for another few seconds. I'm not seeing no questions. I don't know what you meant by I'm him, Crump. I don't know about that. And Johnny, I know if you're still here, but you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. If you're a man that's dating, just be aware of what you're dealing with. I hope this helped give you some ideas, some perspectives if you didn't already know. You got any questions for me, drop it in the comment section when this ends. And I guess I'm going to end it. Nobody has no questions. I'm going to end it. But I appreciate you guys that popped in and checked in with me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you share this video. We going to do this again. I'll be back Sunday, all right? All right, y'all?